Chapter 13, End of Watch. With smoke billowing through the hallway, Declan and his mother, the commissioner, both lie trapped beneath the debris, unconscious. Chief, Amelia, anybody, somebody help. We've got 2 people trapped, but no one hears your calls. There's won't be enough time to get them both out. You know the choice you have to make. It's one you wouldn't wish on your worst enemy, but you have to make it. No matter who I choose to save, they're going to lose a family member. A mother or a son. As you dig into the debris that covers them both, you weigh the horrible decision. Do I save Declan, who's on my squad? He's Amelia's boyfriend. He's got a bright future ahead of him. The commissioner, she's been vital to the Boston Fire Department and been in my corner since day one. The smoke crawls up the walls around you. You're down to the only seconds before the building's engulfed. If you stayed to the last video, at the end I explain my decision and why. Once your mind is made up, you don't have to second guess yourself. It takes all your strength to lift the bookshelf off Declan. Stay with me, Deck. He's still unconscious. His heartbeat's faint. You hoist him over your shoulder and make for the exit. But as you hurry towards the side door, a support beam crashes down, mostly blocking your path. Damn it, I don't have long. I should retreat through the banquet hall. No choice but back now. You return to the building, or burning banquet hall. Fire licks the walls, furniture of the room, eating away at the path to the main doors. Almost there, Declan. Hang on. You secure your hold around Declan's legs and then run through the room as fast as you can. You barely make it out before an explosion of flames engulfs the entire building. Medics, I need help. I have a firefighter down. Amelia spots you through the smoke. Her eyes go wide when she sees you're carrying Declan. Ridley, bring him here. You hurry Declan over to Amelia and lie him down on a gurney. Amelia goes to work, giving him mouth-to-mouth, and soon his breath steadies and he comes to. What happened? There was an explosion, a fire, you must have got knocked out. Ridley saved you. What about my mom? She was... Falls unconscious again as he gets the last word out. Amelia looks at you with teary eyes. Commissioner Campbell, I couldn't save them both. It was an impossible choice, and I failed. Your voice cracks, the tears you were holding back break and start running down your cheeks. Amelia hugs you tightly, teardrops staining her face as well. This isn't your fault, Ridley. Amelia lets you go, looking at Declan with a heavy sigh. She nods, wiping her tears. I'll let him know. I'll tell him when he wakes up. He should hear the news from me. You put your arm around her, letting the tears flow freely from you. That you didn't. For how long, you don't know how long. A few days later, you're so numb you just feel like a shell of yourself. But somehow you make it to the memorial service. I can't believe the commissioner is gone. You barely slept since the fire, and judging by the looks of your squad, it's the same for many of them. They're all here too, but no one seems much in a talking mood. Probably avoiding me. For good reason, too. I saved a firefighter, but let another die. As you wait for the ceremony to begin, you look around for someone to talk to. If just for the distraction, and soon you spot Lux, Harold, and Liang, all standing alone. I feel like Liang would be the best bet, because he's been through this. Survivor's guilt. You're not sure why. Maybe it's because he once lost the woman he loves in a fire, but you find yourself drawn to him. These events are every firefighter's worst nightmare. Especially when you feel like you're partially responsible for it. He pauses, taking you in for a moment, then gently pats you on the back. It feels a bit odd coming from him, but the gesture's still appreciated. When I lost Shelley, I blamed myself for everything that happened in that fire. Do you still blame yourself? No. It took some time, but I accepted that her death had nothing to do with me or my actions. You saved a life that night. Always remember that. It's not the first time you've been told that. It's easier said than done. You smile weakly as Liang as the mayor takes the podium, about to speak. Speaking after a tragedy such as this is a solemn responsibility that I haven't grown accustomed to. As the mayor addresses the crowd, you realize that you don't want to hear a speech. I can't listen to the mayor singing her praises. It's too raw. You try to squash the guilt rising in you when someone suddenly taps you on your shoulder. Hey, Ridley. You haven't spoken with Amelia since that night when she lost a potential mother-in-law, but you saved her boyfriend. Amelia, how's Declan doing? He's still in the hospital recovering from his injuries. He wanted so badly to come today, but the docs won't allow him. Does he hate me? No. When he regained consciousness that night, we explained everything that happened. He fell to pieces hearing about his mom. But when I told him what you did, he didn't get angry or upset. He just sat there in silence for a long time. Then he said that he can't imagine how you must be feeling. He was worried about me. Deck knew the choice you had to make was impossible. He has no grudge against you. Amelia, I'm not sure I'll ever get over this. I keep reliving that night over and over. God, no one should ever have to make a choice you did. I'm so sorry you had to. She wraps you in a hug, and despite how numb you are, you can feel her warmth and love. We're a family, Ridley, and we'll get through this one as one too. You and Amelia watch as the mayor and the government officials share kind words, and eventually the memorial begins to wind down. You only see Phoenix in short bursts, as his duties and responsibilities as chief of him dealing with a lot of the city brass. Chief Phoenix, please pass on my condolences to Mr. Campbell. The city is in great debt to his mother. Of course, the commissioner will be greatly missed. He must be miserable, not only grieving, but having to put it on his best face to act as an official capacity. After bidding farewell to the mayor, he finally approaches you, a ray of sunshine on a cloudy day. How are you holding up? I should be asking you that, Ridley. Coping, sorta. Leave's not exactly all it's cracked up to be. I know, I've been busy, but I promise I'll visit tomorrow. His words bring a slight smile to your face before another official claims his time once more, and he leaves you to your thoughts. At least I have him to look forward to. The next day, you're sitting on your couch, just watching the time tick by as you're actively trying not to think about the gala. I know why they put me on leave from the firehouse, but at least if I were there, I'd have something else to occupy my mind. Phoenix's visit has made today a little bit better, yet you continue to get lost in your memories. Hot tea with 2 sugars, just how you like it. I also found some cookies in your pantry. Thanks. Phoenix sips the hot mug and snacks down. You force a smile as he sits next to you, considering you for a long moment. Ridley, I think I have some kind of idea what you're going through, and I think speaking about it would help. Don't think of me as your chief right now. You can say anything to me and I won't judge. I'm not against talking about it, but I don't even know where to start. How about telling me what's the main dialogue going on in your head? What's the one thing you can't stop thinking about? How you wish you could have saved both of them? I keep returning to... You failed both of them. In a way, you kind of feel like you did. I keep rewinding it in my head. There had to have been a way to get them both out alive. I just wasn't good enough to think of it. Phoenix opens the bag of cookies and bites into one. So now that you've had a few days to think about it, how do you do? Because I had a lot more experience than you, and I can't think of a single way you can carry two unconscious bodies buried in debris alone. You take a sip of your hot tea, realizing that, of course he's right. It doesn't change the fact. You lost someone in the fire that you cared about. Someone that I cared about too. It's going to hurt for a while. It just feels like a few days ago everything was great. It was the happiest I've ever been since becoming a firefighter. Now it feels like there's a giant black cloud hanging over me, one that'll never go away. Again, Phoenix pauses, taking time to reflect. When I lost Shelley, I thought I'd never be happy again. I went through a really dark time, but after a while, days didn't seem as dark anymore. I still miss her and think about her every day. The darkness is gone. Now I'm just happy when I think about her because I remember the fun times we shared. But what if I don't want it to stop hurting? It wouldn't be right if I didn't feel completely awful. I get it. You think it honors her memory, but let me tell you something. Wherever Krista is now, she understands the choice you had to make. The last thing she'd want is you carrying around the darkness. And if it was Krista who saved Declan and you who didn't make it out of the fire, you'd feel the same way wherever you were. You take another sip of your tea and smile up at him. Thank you for saying that, but I'm not sure it's true. Ridley, don't doubt yourself like this. You're such a good person, and I wish you could see that through my eyes. Feeling overwhelmed, you bury yourself against Phoenix. He kisses you tenderly, holding you as much as you're holding him. I'm here for you, Ridley. Whatever you need. We can talk, sit here, do something to take your mind off of it. Phoenix really is a great guy. I should try to take my mind off of everything and just enjoy my time with him for a while. Phoenix lifts your chin tenderly, his eyes blazing, and you're showing you his true sincerity. Spend a romantic evening with Phoenix. Phoenix, I'm just happy you're here. It's been an impossible few days, and I need your company today. Then tell me, let me really take care of you. Don't worry about a thing, I'll handle everything. Phoenix stands up and gently drapes a blanket over you, tucking you in comfy and cozy before kissing your forehead. Let's start with food. I bet you haven't had a decent meal in the last few days. Honestly, I haven't eaten much of anything. I saw some eggs when I was in the kitchen. That is one of my world-famous omelets, son. Before you can argue, he disappears in your kitchen. You hear some clanging pans and as some incredible smells come your way. Eventually, he returns with a plate a few minutes later. That's the quickest omelet I've ever seen prepared in my life. What makes it so special? It smells good, at least. My mom taught me how to make these when I was a kid. Since then, I've perfected them. You anxiously cut off a small piece with your fork and taste it. Oh my. Phoenix, this is delicious. You go in for a second bite, then a third. It's not long before you're scarfing it down as the smooth, buttery flavors dance on your tongue. Did you doubt my abilities in the kitchen? Phoenix, what else did your mother teach you? Quite a bit, actually. In my family of macho firefighters, my mother was the gentle, creative type who kept us all grounded. His face lights up with memories, and it's clear how much he loves talking about his mother. She also taught me how to work with my hands. Oh, now that I can believe. You take his hands in yours, dragging a finger across his palm. Not like that, really. That's a talent I developed on my own. But my mom had a knack for making anything. Birdhouses, elaborate gardens, volcano for my science project. You name it, she could build it. Well, not a lot of birds around here, and I don't have a yard to garden. But if I ever need a volcano, I'll let you know. You and Phoenix share a laugh. It's the first real laugh you've had since the gala, and a bittersweet smile crosses your lips. What is it? For a while, I just thought I'd never laugh again. Phoenix smiles as he takes your quickly emptied plate. Like I said, things will gradually lighten in time. I know, there's a light at the end of the tunnel, but somehow it's tough to reassure the brain that it will come. Especially since I've barely slept, I just toss and turn, replaying that moment over and over again. I remember it was the same for me. My body's completely stiff from all the stress. A thin line forms on his lips. You know, one of my other hidden talents is I give a great massage. Perhaps I can demonstrate? A massage for me. Now I know I'm being pampered. Tell me which body part needs it the most. I could get started. My shoulders? I've been aching so badly. It must be where I've been storing all my stress. I bet when I get done, you'll feel brand new. He leans forward as he positions himself behind you and starts kneading your shoulder blades with his thumbs. Oh my god, that feels incredible. It's just a standard massage. You've had one before, right? No. Wouldn't know what a massage was if it literally wore a name tag that said massage. I'm serious. Yeah, but never one done by you. You let out a contented sigh as his fingers work out each tightly wound muscle. You're really good at this. You're all tied up here. I wish I could massage away what is happening in your brain. I know. It's like a non-stop loop of what happened at the gala. Well, tonight, let's all that just melt away. Focus on my touch. And you do. His hands work their way down your back, pressing and rubbing in all the right places. Oh. Eventually, he finishes the massage, and you feel much of the weight and tension gone. I hope that helped loosen things up a bit. Maybe you'll be able to sleep a bit better tonight. Phoenix, are you kidding? That may have been the best massage of my life. You drag a finger down his arm. One day, I hope you'll let me return the favor. Trust me, you won't need to twist my arm for that, but today we're focusing on you. So it seems. First you cook me a delicious omelette, then get me an awesome massage. How will you pamper me next? You tell me. I'm yours to command all day. What do you want to do? How about we cuddle up and watch a movie? That's a thing that couples do, right? Only question is now, which movie? You flip through your favorite streaming service, searching for something to watch. Let's go with a sweet romantic movie, a scary horror film, a wild action movie. Listen, it's going into September in a couple days. It's the spooky season. You find a scary-looking horror film and press play, and then curl up next to him. I hadn't taken you for a horror fan, Ridley. A mindless slasher film is exactly what I need to take my mind off things. He wraps his arms around you and squeezes you close to him during all the scariest moments. You ever wonder how long you'd survive on a slasher? I think my chances are decent. Being a firefighter definitely gives us an edge. No, it doesn't. Because you'll be the first to run into danger without thinking about it, because you're used to that. And we know the most important thing. Everybody sticks together. Okay, that I agree with. Eventually, the movie comes to a gory conclusion. Phoenix pulls you even closer to him, seemingly protecting you from the cinematic psycho villain. What an ending. Now we have our first movie we watch together, just like a regular couple. Look, we're drifting towards normalcy. You shut the movie off as Phoenix stretches. You meet his eyes with sincerity. Seriously though, thank you for helping me take my mind off this. This has been the first time I haven't been dwelling on that night. I'll be here for you. Don't ever forget that. He kisses the top of your head and you melt into him, enjoying the cozy night together. Can I ask you a personal question? Of course, you can ask me anything. I'm curious. How did you get through losing Shelley? Sits in silence for a long moment, contemplating. Honestly, I was a wreck, and I ended up talking to a professional. My therapist told me something that helped me called the 3 C's. Wait, was our cuddling the first C? It might have been a fourth C. Shut up. Afraid not. Just an added bonus. The first C is choice. Grief often feels like you don't have any control. The idea is to consciously pay attention to the choices you're making to show that you do have control. Okay, I can do that. I can choose what to wear, what to make for dinner. They sound like small choices, but just saying them out loud reassures that you have control over things in your life. Which brings us to the second C, connect. We're social creatures, we need to connect to other people. Well, I haven't moved past the first C. Anyway, I get that. Just talking to you here today has been helping a ton. I'm glad. Maybe tomorrow you could reach out to some other members of the squad. Sit and think about what Phoenix is asking. Aside from the memorial service, you've been avoiding talking to anyone on your squad, especially Declan. I don't know what they'd even say or if they'd want to talk to me. I'm gonna strangle you, I swear to God. Maybe you're right, but let's see how I feel tomorrow. I won't push you, Ridley. The third C is communication. If you're feeling a certain way or need something emotionally, you need to tell people. So I ask, is there anything you need right now, Ridley? I need you to bounce it around with me. I'm sorry. Right now I could use your arms around me. Phoenix smiles as he pulls you to him and hugs you tenderly. You squeeze him tightly, acknowledging no one has ever been there for you like he was today. This is what the firefighter called for. You close your eyes, relishing his touch and the way you fit together so easily. For a long moment, he pulls back and meets your gaze. You never have to ask for that, Ridley, but I'm glad that you did. Thank you for tonight. You've helped me feel like a normal person again. I'm here for you, Ridley, though through whatever comes our way, I have your back. You lay your head in his lap, finding peace quickly and drifting off to a much-needed sleep. The next morning, you wake to find Phoenix still in your apartment, making breakfast. Is that another omelet I smell? You were all out of lobsters for the thermidor. He places an omelet and a steaming cup of coffee in front of you and sneaks a quick kiss. Well, you certainly woke up on the right side of the bed this morning. Couch didn't feel right to wake you up, so I made do. You take a deep sip of coffee and sigh. How are you feeling this morning? Honestly, much better after curling up with you all night. That's great to hear, Ridley. Now, if you'll allow me to slip into chief mode for a second, I just want to say something. I'll allow it, unless you're about to put me on engine detail. I just want to let you know that you're welcome back at the station whenever you feel ready. I don't want to rush you, if you're not up to it, but we're going to need all hands on deck to catch the arsonist. You take a bite of your omelet as he tries to gauge your reaction. Phoenix, dying to get back to work. I'm bursting at the seams, and I think that will really help me feel normal again. Stop short as you think about rejoining the squad, as memories of the gala swirl in your mind. But although I want to come back so badly, I need to know 100% that I'll be there for my squad. And right now you can't? I want to say yes, but whenever I close my eyes, I see Declan and the Commissioner trapped in that hallway. So you can bet on me returning soon, but not quite yet. Steals a bite of your omelet as he considers your answer. That's a mature answer, Ridley. Only you will know when you're ready, and when you are, everyone will be ecstatic to have you back. I promise you, Chief, I'll do everything in my power to... You're interrupted by a knock at the door. You hurry to open it, curious who it would be dropping by this early. Hey, Ridley. Hope we didn't wake you. We got this, we got the afternoon shift, so we thought we'd all drop by. They brought all the animals, too. Your jaw is nearly on the floor as you look at Lux, Harold, Smokey, and even Ash cradled in Harold's arms. Here for some friends in the trying time, both bipedal and four-legged. I'm sure they meant well, but how do I explain Chief being in my kitchen? Wow. Thank you for checking in on me. I'm at a loss for words. We figured you could use a little brightness in your day, and who could say no to this face? They squish Smokey's face as he barks happily. I really hope we're not intruding, Ridley. Lux Harold, what a surprise. And Smokey, who's a good boy. As the Smokey runs past you to greet Phoenix, Lux and Harold look on, mouse agape. You stammer out an excuse why he's at your apartment so early. Phoenix also decided to surprise me by dropping by this morning, and I'm here because I spent the night because Ridley and I are dating. Just gonna let that hang for a minute there. If you thought Lux and Harold were shocked, your jaw drops just as far at how easily Phoenix admits to your relationship. Did he just... Oh my god, he did. I guess the cat is officially out of the bag. I knew it. I have a sixth sense about these things. Congratulations, you two. This is, surprising news. Not exactly how I imagined to tell you, but come on in. Take the load off. Once Smokey is off his leash, he immediately takes off through your apartment to smell every square inch. Ash hops on your couch, curls up, and immediately falls asleep. Let me brew you two a cup of coffee. I'll be right back. Phoenix, the homemaker. This is a side I'd never thought I'd see. Let me give you a hand. As Phoenix and Lux head to your kitchen, Harold approaches you a little uneasy. Really, I'm happy you and the Chief found each other, but I'd be remiss if I didn't tell you how messy I've seen relationships like this get. I apologize if I'm out of line, but just be careful. Harold, we will. Thank you for your concern. Trust me, this hasn't been easy. It just kinda happened. We've also been very cautious about everything that could possibly go wrong. Then you have my best wishes as a couple. Phoenix and Lux soon return with coffee. The four of you take a seat in the living room. For a moment, everyone sits in awkward silence. So, how's it been down at the station? Rough. Really quiet. Nobody feels like talking much. It's hard to be in a funk. These situations are kind of impossible to deal with, but you just have to press on. It's the sad reality of this job. Another melancholy silence as everyone sips their coffee quietly. Oh, speaking of coffee, that's why I told Harold we had to come. We're your friends. Hell, your family. We're all gonna get through this together. Lux is right. We're here for you, to lean on if you need us. Lux playfully nudges you, smirking. And, for when the Chief isn't around. Lux. Your eyes meet Phoenix's as he refrains from spitting out his coffee. He takes a moment to regain his composure. I'm glad she has you to lean on, too. You hide from the knowing look Lux is giving you right now. Anyways, we wanted to swing by and see if you wanted to head to the pet park around the corner with us. Smokey perks up at the mention of the park. He rushes to Lux, jumping in excitement. Looks like someone wants to play. Smokey's tail wags even faster at your suggestion. Even Ash stirs awake from the couch. He's a good boy. Getting these two out might not be a bad idea. What do you say to a little play date at the park, Ridley? Smokey looks up at you with those puppy dog eyes, tail wagging. Look at the little pug. There's a wiener dog, regular dog. They even have a fire hydrant. Getting out of the house might be the best thing for me. Phoenix, are you coming? I wouldn't miss him. Lux puts the leash back on the excited Smokey as Harold wrangles Ash before you all head down to the pet park. As soon as Lux releases Smokey, he zooms off, spreading here and there and all over the park, his tail wagging a mile a minute. Meanwhile, Ash slowly meanders around, curiously investigating everything. Then 12 dogs suddenly just come up and eat him. I think it's safe to say we've made the right call. We should have taken Smokey here sooner. I love seeing him so excited. Maybe I should come here on slow days and make sure Smokey gets his exercise. Ash looks like he's done exploring in the park and ready to wander off till Phoenix runs after him. I'll keep an eye on this guy. Ash curls up contently in Phoenix's arms, purring non-stop. He's a good boy. Smokey does one more lap, then comes crashing back to you, almost stumbling into you. Careful, Smokey. You almost took me out. He looks at you with big, pleading eyes as if apologizing. You can't help but smile and pat him on the head. I could never be mad at you. Who's a good boy? I'm pretty sure he wants to play it, Ridley. Smokey's ears perk up at the word play. Pause. Pad and anticipation rearing to go. Alright, Smokey, let's check out the puppy pool. You walk Smokey over to the puppy pool and urge him to dive in. Don't you want to go into the water and cool off? Instead of diving in, he stands at the edge of the pool, tail wagging. You're so close, Smokey, just a little bit further. Maybe he just needs to feel how refreshing the pool is. Splash on some of the cool water on him, letting the droplets hit his fur. Go on, boy, Ridley's waiting for you. Smokey cocks his head to the side and suddenly jumps into the pool, splashing water everywhere. Smokey. You try to dry yourself off, but Smokey has other ideas. He runs in and out to the pool several times, spraying more water on you. I guess this is my life now. A droplet of water falls on Ash. He bristles in Phoenix's arms. Your whole squad laughs at Smokey's expense. He finally collapses at your feet, tongue wagging. Did you wear yourself out already, Smokey? No, he's just taking a break. You sit down on the ground next to Smokey and he immediately starts leaning into you and licking your hand. What's up with all this extra attention? It's like you know I'm really down and need a friend. And that's how animals are. Really does. Dogs are smart animals. I don't know about that. Don't get me wrong, I love dogs. But at the same time, I love cats more. I'm sorry. They're much more sensitive to small changes in our demeanor than humans. You hug Smokey tightly as he rests his head on your leg. Lux, I'm curious. Where did your love of animals come from? From when I was a kid, we always had pets growing up. Dogs, cats, bird, hamsters, even a squirrel and monkey. Why am I not surprised you had a monkey? Cosmo was great. I used to love taking him skateboarding with me. I have so many questions suddenly. So did everyone who saw us together. Suddenly Smokey scrambles to his feet and barks uncontrollably. You follow his gaze across the park to a bird perched on a nearby fence. It's just a bird, Smokey. Thanks for looking out. So fierce, Smokey. I think this calls for a distraction. Phoenix picks up a tennis ball, which grabs Smokey's attention immediately. He falls silent, waiting in anticipation. Fetch. He tosses the ball. Smokey runs after it, then brings it back, dropping it at your feet. You all take turns throwing the ball to Smokey until he's finally out of energy and collapses in the shade. Worn out yet, bud? You bring him some water as you all take seats around him. You look at Lux, Harold, and Phoenix in appreciation. Lux, Harold, I just want to say thank you for getting me out here today. It really gives me perspective, and I didn't realize how badly I needed it. One day at a time, Ridley. That's the only way to get through it. Honestly, I think we all needed a day like this. Let's face it, we're all grieving. A wave of silence falls across you all. One glance and you know that everyone has the same thing on their minds. I can't believe the commissioner's gone, though. I didn't know her well, but I always liked spending time with her. She was a strong leader, yet also very personable. My heart goes out to Dick. The Commissioner Campbell was a mentor for me. I miss having her to turn to in tough times. I think most of all I'll miss the faith she had in me. From day one, she had my back and put a lot of trust in me. She told me many times that she saw big things in your future. She wasn't like that with many people. You all sit quietly in a moment of silence before Phoenix breaks it. We keep moving forward, like Harold said, one day at a time. For Commissioner Campbell. The rest of you nod in agreement, honoring your fallen firefighter. After a moment, Smokey stands up, recharged. I think Smokey's getting hungry. We should get him back to the station. He's not the only one. I think it's time for dinner. Dinner? You set off Smokey, who jumps up in excitement at the prospect of food. Lux shakes their head, laughing. Now you've done it. From Lux, head back to the station while Phoenix walks you back to your apartment. I'm so glad they came by today. I really needed that. The best firefighters or firehouses are like family. 57 had its bumps along the way, but now we're a family too. I guess so, especially since we're now out as a couple. I told you I was serious about not hiding things anymore. I didn't mean to jump the gun on you back there. I've just been wanting to tell everyone or someone so badly. Honestly, I'm glad we're not hiding it anymore. Lux and Harold were a great choice of who to tell first. I feel so close to them. I don't know what's to come, Ridley, but one thing's for sure. I'm glad we're out. I feel the same way. Phoenix takes your hand in his, and you enjoy the rest of the walk home, basking in the warm weather. Soon you return to your apartment, and the exhaustion of your outing hits you, and you quickly fall asleep on the couch. A familiar dread fills you as the wrecked hallway stretches before you. Smoke fills the air, choking you. The whole building's about to go up in flames. Just ahead, you see Declan and the Commissioner buried under the debris, both unconscious. You look around at the collapsed hallway, flames licking the walls and smoke billowing in. I need to get them out of here, but I can't move. You will yourself to get up, but your legs refuse to carry you. I can't lose them both. You try to crawl towards them to get them to safety somehow, but instead you find yourself buried under the rubble too. You can't save them. You can't save even yourself. Maniacal voice laughs behind you. Then you turn to see... Are you ready to die, Ridley? No. You jolt awake, covered in sweat. Phoenix runs to you. Ridley, are you okay? You look around your apartment slowly, your racing pulse. Eventually you meet his worried gaze. Despite the fear from your nightmare, a calmness and clarity washes over you, making you more determined than ever. I need to get back to work. I will make sure that arsonist never hurts anyone again. Okay, so before I get to saying what I need to say, remember to like, share, and subscribe. And down in the description, plenty of ways to support, check out, yada yada yada. So, other than that, good chapter all around. It's kind of cute, sweet, good writing for what I can, just give you. The only problem that I have, I know I have a problem. Woohoo! What else is new? Anyway, so we didn't visit Declan in the hospital. Just letting that sink in for a minute. We didn't visit Declan at all. You would have thought that would have been something that to do, right? If anything, it seems like we're avoiding that. But yet, that was not conveyed at all, by the way. At least convey it in somehow, some way, some means. Something tells me that eventually Declan will return, and, there'll be the awkward conversation, and, he feels lost, he feels hurt, he's without his mom, but you did the right thing, and I feel like that's how it'll go. But I just... I don't know. I just feel like that could have been handled so much better. And maybe would have made you feel better about going back, but then also maybe, I don't know. This is me as a story writer. This is me as a game developer. This is me as a creative. This is me as a lot of different things. I feel like you could have had a conversation with Declan. It didn't seal the deal, but at least you got things, grievances, and everything out. And you're seeing he's still healing, and there's also internal wounds, and the whole 9 years. And it didn't seal it, but it would have brought you closer to going back. And then comes in the nightmare, and then comes in her resolution to become a firefighter once again. That I just feel like that would have been more well-rounded. It would have definitely sealed the deal. It would have made us feel better about the Declan situation and everything else, and the whole 9 yards. And I just feel like, correct me if I'm wrong. Let me know if any of you saved the commissioner. But I just feel like now, because it's Pixelberry and the person that we saved has now become an optional character that may or may not really exist in the long scheme of things. So let me know how, if any of you actually tried to save the commissioner, or did save the commissioner, I guess would be the best way to put it. Let me know, because I don't like this. I remember Detroit Becomes Human, and I get it. But every choice you made in that game would greatly affect things and greatly affect the span of things, and there was big huge branch effects would happen when you opted in to do something like this. And the person that you saved or didn't save, it actually had consequences, it had meaning, it had feeling, and it meant something other than, hey, we're just now going to have this opinionated off to the side conversation with whoever we saved, because we'll use the whole they're wounded, they're injured, they're in the hospital, they're whatever, as a backbone for why we are not engaging our players with this person whatsoever, and actually showing there is consequences for the person dying or not dying. Like, this also just kind of confirms there's not going to probably be a book 2. I'm just saying. Because if you kept the commissioner alive and you let Declan die, how does that work, right? Like, is Declan gonna forever be a write-off character? If you saved him, and if you didn't save him, then is the commissioner gonna be a write-off character? Eventually you have to fill the role of commissioner, so how does that work? Like, make it make sense to me. Again, let me know what you guys chose in the comment section, but thank you all for watching. I'll catch you all later. Peace out.